With setback after setback, our 5th week in India really tested our patience and stamina.
We came to realise that you can't change what's happening around you, so it's all down to your attitude that will ultimately determine what you get out of a place.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Ruby.
We left Australia over a year ago on an adventure around the world.
And now we want to invite you along for the ride.
Welcome to His and Her Travellings. We're in Temple Land.
We're actually in
Khajuraho. Ruby's really good at saying place names.
And we're here for 4 nights. So we're going to be able to check out every single temple that they have here. And we're pretty pumped about it, so stay tuned. Hello guys.
Hey, purely because the train to Varanasi is on Sunday night that we've I don't know, we're here for a few days and we don't need a few days.
So we're just going to really take our time and take in every single temple.
Over the course of today, we're going to see them all.
Gotta catch them all!
As we walk around today, I will attempt to shed some light on the Hindu religion. Full disclosure, I am not an expert on the Hindu religion, nor do I hold any real knowledge of what's going on.
Of anything, really.
A lot of these temples are dedicated to either Lord Vishnu or Shiva.
Wow.
2 of the 3 gods in the Hindu religion. There's a 3rd, Rama, but apparently he has his own little story, and hence why there's only 1 Brahma temple in the world, and that was in Pushkar.
Locals here rely on tourists significantly more than any other place we've experienced in India, and so the rest of our day was dedicated, or rather dictated by them.
So, we are actually out of Khajuraho for the first bloody time.
Woo!
Today has not been the best of mornings.
No. And, you know, we had to fight so hard to even get out of this place. It was just a nightmare. Guys, it was a nightmare.
It was looking like we weren't going to have any breakfast because we just could not figure out the ATMs in Khajuraho. There's about 6 and none of them were working except for one, but that one wouldn't accept our card, so we had to cut our losses and suck it up and go to a money exchanger.
We had to pay $7 essentially just to get out our daily.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in future, like, we know coming to smaller places we're not going to have as many options, so we probably should have been a bit smarter.
But also, like, it kind of unforeseeable because apparently there's massive strikes going on and the banks are striking.
Yeah. And so our other experience in Khajuraho is with the locals.
They're really friendly and eager to talk to you and get to know you, but they're also really happy to follow you around all day. There's
one particular 17-year-old. The first night he invited us back to his house, and to his family's credit, they fed us, and it was a nice experience, and we were very grateful. But then it just got a bit weird after that.
He turned up to our hostel twice, uninvited, and was waiting there for us to leave. And he has Maddie on Facebook, and he was messaging him, being like, "Where are you? Come out!" Like,
yeah, it just got a bit weird. And I had to talk to him today about you can't just be rocking up uninvited and expecting people to, like, just go along with you, and particularly, like, if you just appear, and, like, it was just a bit much, and it was just forcing himself onto us, and, like, we weren't taking kindly, especially when it's happening a lot in this town. Actually, it's
here particularly, we've had the less selfies and things. It's more people just wanting to follow you all the time and talk with you, which is totally fine, but it's also really, really hard to get anything done when there's people following you.
You just start dedicating so much of your time, and you don't actually get to do the things you plan to do that day. And
like for the 2 full days that we've already been here, we've only managed to do
the same thing on both days.
The same thing on both days, because we set out yesterday to, like, go see all the temples, and we only got to 3 because like, just constantly talking to us and stuff. And so
we like that, and it's part of the experience, but maybe after the first hour it becomes a bit much, and then when it keeps going and going and going, and
when there's certain people that you keep seeing and they keep waiting outside your hostel, and it just gets a bit too much, and there's boundaries, and they're definitely passing you.
But again, it's a type of place here in Khajuraho that people trying to make a living off like the tourists that come. A bit different to how other cities do it. It's all part of the experience.
Yeah.
Hello? Not allowed that way.
Right, so probably from the last time you saw us, probably a bit confused. Basically, the scooter that we hired was just not working out well.
No, I had a massive puncture. I knew that going into the day, and we went to like literally the side of the road, and it was like a DIY puncture repair kit, and I had my doubts, and they were proven correct because we had a bloody flat tyre for half the day, so we just had to come back, and we sorted it out. We're getting the scooter again tomorrow.
And we're going to the waterfall we actually wanted to go to.
Yeah, but we had to make amends. Well, no, we had to make replans Zavo.
So what we ended up doing is we inquired about a gym at our hostel, and they hooked us up with a gym that wasn't too far away, and we didn't even have to pay to go in, which was even better.
Worked out really well. Nothing fancy, like, to be fair, it was better than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got a sweat on and feel a bit better about ourselves.
It's good. Not a single other girl in there though, so love sexism.
But worked a bit of our frustrations out, and
feeling good.
Got a bit of
a going through.
a kick in our stride again. So we're back.
Muy bien, chica. Muy bien.
Post-gym feed.
With an early start, we were off without delay and finally heading to the waterfall. One of the few perks of travelling through India during monsoon season is experiencing the awesome presence and power of so much water. It was almost like a mini Niagara Falls.
Where are we now?
We're at the Raya waterfall, and it is pumping thanks to monsoon season.
And it's beautiful weather, and we're having a great day.
So far, so good.
This trip we've always run into issues. Today is no different. We had a puncture in the front wheel yesterday, and today we have a puncture in the back wheel.
Is it bad?
I'll just walk. We'll just try and get back. Got a nail.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. 100 per puncture. Okay.
We finally made it to the western group of temples.
So after 4 nights here and a lot of faffing about, we've actually come to see literally what's 50 metres up from our hostel.
Yeah, we've walked past every single day we've been here.
My God. And everyone in the hostel keeps asking, oh, so what do you think of the western group of temples? You've been here so long.
Haha, yeah, couldn't tell you.
So we've left it to the last day, and hopefully it's worth the $12 to get in here. 40, 600. What do we think of that?
The western group of temples is the main draw card for Khajuraho, and provided you're not stuck there for 4 days waiting for a train like we were, 2 days is plenty of time to see all 3 groups of temples.
The western ones in particular are famous for the erotic carvings hailing from Kama Sutra. It's also worth heading there in the afternoon as it's slightly cooler and the ground isn't as hot.
Without sounding at all uncultured, all these temples are starting to look very much the same, and it reminds me a bit like touring around Europe and looking at another church.
Don't swear, now I'm going to have to beep it out.
Number 1, the Mayan Temple. New Road, stop. The Javari Temple. Number 3, the Brahma Temple. Number 4, Ganti Temple. Number 5, Duladia Temple. Number 6, Chattograja Temple. Number 7, the Bijamantal Temple ruins. Number 8, the Sarapeshwara Temple. Temple 9, the Nandi Temple. Number 10, Vishwanatha Temple. Number 11, Savati Temple. Number 12, Chitragupta Temple. Number 13, Jagadanda Temple. Number 14, the Kandaria Temple. Number 15, the Lakshmana Temple. Number 16, Bharar Temple. Number 17, Lakshmi Temple.
So we're at the Khajuraho train station for another hour. Potentially the train comes, and we're off to Varanasi. We are in amongst sleep out. Everyone's just all tucked in for the night, waiting for the train or whatever they're doing. But there's a lot of people lying around, and we're
in a 3AC tonight, actually. So it's a step up from our last overnight training experience.
Get AC.
Treat yourself. And there may be a bit of a surprise or two tomorrow. And obviously the following day for River's birthday.
So in which case, we're going to be doing a separate vlog. But yeah, we'll see you when we check into Moustache Hostel. Well, hello. We're in Varanasi.
Yep, another holy city. And one of the oldest cities in the world, supposedly.
Currently on a boat in the Ganges, just living life.
The Ganga is what it is locally referred to as. Coming to Varanasi, you hear a lot about how the river bank of the Ganges plays a significant part in the experience, and fortunate or unfortunate, we're experiencing it during monsoon season, so it is very, very, very flooded, and the water level has swelled up so far that it's only a metre shy of it being considered dangerous, and 2 metres shy of being at a threatening level. So as I've found a gap here that's still somewhat serviceable, you can get a pretty good sense of the river itself, and you can see the whole river bank along sort of the east southern shore. There's a water tower that was pointed out to me, and it is like the water level is halfway up that tower from what it should be, and the bank, if you're looking out, should be anywhere between 50 to 100 metres out from where it is at the moment. So it is quite incredible, but still everyone's still going about their daily business. It's a hub of activity at this particular gap. People are fishing, people are bathing in the river, there's still boats going up and down, there's kids flying kites, there's guys playing cards. It's still a nice atmosphere, and sit back and just watch people go about their days.
Despite the flooding, life truly does go on in Varanasi. Whilst we were visiting, there were a couple of different festivals going on, which meant an abundance of colour, sound and smells wafting through the streets.
At every gap we found happenings of both the crazy and unique, and even though we couldn't walk along the banks themselves, we still found that there was a lot to see in Varanasi.
So as our last night in Varanasi approaches, the Ganga is definitely receding, and I reckon in another week it might be like the Varanasi that we were promised, where you can walk down from gap to gap along the riverbank, and you can just see Ghat near our hostel has significantly reduced in water level, and people are now out and using it and sort of starting to get back to how it would normally look. So we're just going to give it some time, I think, and we'll just hear, luckily or unluckily, to see it in a different vein. It was all a unique experience, and it's all part of it. You can't get everything right, and it was cool. It's so much water, but people are still going about their daily lives, which is the beauty of it. Thank you.
This is our boat.
Okay.
When we first arrived, there was actually a government ban on using boats to charter people in the water, but on our last night we were lucky to be able to get a quick boat ride in before catching what we think was the worst ship to fire, but we could be wrong.
Brings our time in Khajuraho and Varanasi to a close.
Next up we're heading to Kolkata, and we have a few things lined up there, but you'll see that all in the next vlog.
So that's goodbye for us for now.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.
And we'll do it all again next week.
Bye.
See you guys.